Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. This is my show. Thank you for being here today. Much appreciated. We got some very important things to go over. We got some business to talk about, and it's going to be an exciting event. So, Monday, June 10th, I am calling everyone to call off, play hooky, request off work, because I am throwing the first all-inclusive adult field trip. You heard it right. We are going to have an adult-only field trip. What's better than the feeling of being a kid and having a field trip? You know, going into school, knowing you don't have to do shit that day, and just going out and just, running amok with your friends on a weekday. You know what I mean? Nothing better than that. No better feeling than that. I wanted that feeling again. I wanted to find that joy again. So I decided to start planning some adult field trips that utilize some local businesses to create an entire day of fun. All right. So your ticket to the very first Playing Hooky adult field trip day is going to be including a shuttle ride. It's going to be including a coffee and a pastry. It's going to be including admission to Laurel Caverns. Now, Laurel Caverns, let me tell you a little bit about what Laurel Caverns is. Laurel Caverns is the largest cave in the northeastern United States. It is 4 miles of twists and turns underground. It's about 50 miles south of Pittsburgh. So we're going to go on a trip up to Laurel Caverns, go take a tour, probably about an hour, 15, hour and a half tour through the caves. Like I said, 4 miles of twists and turns underground. Absolutely insane if you haven't been there. And then after that, we are going to go and we are going to have a brown bag picnic lunch courtesy of Carson Street Deli at Mingo Creek Park. So you heard it. One ticket, one price includes all of this. I'm planning the whole day for you. I'm asking you, do you want to have a fun time? Take off work, plan this out in advance, call off work the last minute, whatever you need to do. Come and hang out with us Monday, June 10th for the first adult field trip of many. I teamed up with a Berg bus because obviously, we need some transportation all the way up to Laurel Caverns. So the way that this is going to work, you are going to pay $80, and that ticket is going to include everything. You're going to meet at the convention center at 8:30 on Monday, June 10th. At the convention center, we're all going to rendezvous there, and then we are going to get picked up by Chris, who is the owner of the Berg bus, and we are going to have a little 40-minute ride up to a local coffee shop to where you will be given a voucher to get a medium hot or iced coffee and a pastry. And then once we finish our snack there, we get back on the bus. We ride the rest of the way up to Laurel Caverns. Your admission is included in the ticket, and we are going to go tour the caverns and then have ourselves a time there. The tour is going to be a guided tour, but then after the tour, we get to walk around by ourselves a little bit. You can mill around, check things out, check all the cool shit out underground. And then once we're done at Laurel Caverns, we hop back on the Berg bus, and we are going to go to Mingo Creek Park, which is a beautiful park. Huge. It got all sorts of nice things. Dog parks. It got pickleball courts. It got a creek. It got multiple creeks. It got bridges. It got all sorts of fun things to do. And we are going to go to Mingo Creek Park, and we are going to enjoy our brown bag lunch. Now, whenever I say a brown bag lunch, we're not eating bologna and cheese. All right. We're getting a catered lunch from Carson Street Deli that is going to be customizable by you. When you buy this ticket on the Berg Bus's website, you will be able to pick your type of pastry you want. You will be able to pick your type of sandwich you want for lunch, which will either be a turkey sandwich, an Italian sandwich, or a veggie sandwich. You already know we got a veggie option for the vegetarians out there. And then you will also get a side that is included. The sides will be an option of coleslaw, linguine salad, or macaroni salad. And then on top of that, you get a nice little bag of chips, and we're going to have a cooler with some good drinks there. And the idea is, we're going to have this event, we're going to go to Laurel Caverns, and then we finish the day off hanging out at a beautiful park, just eating a lunch. We'll have a football there, we'll have some Frisbees, we'll be tossing it around. You can meet some people, and it's just going to be a good time. We're going to have the whole entire day planned out. Whenever I thought about this, I just wanted it to be all included. Me, myself, personally, if I'm buying a ticket, I just want things to be included. I don't even want to think about it. And that's exactly what I am creating for you. We're going to have transport. We're going to have snacks. We're going to have a fun time. And we're going to have a beautiful lunch by Carson Street Deli. And then we're coming right back home to enjoy the rest of our Monday before we have to go back to work. Now, like I said, tickets will be on sale this week. I'm sure I will be blowing up your social media with all the ticket links, all the different options, all the details for the very first adult field trip, and I'm excited about it. I hope to see you there. $80 ticket includes all of this: transportation, a coffee, a snack, a fun time, a brown bag lunch, and your ride home. And it's going to be entertaining on the bus. If you guys don't know what the Berg bus is, you're missing out. It is the most unique and entertaining experience on wheels, and it's Pittsburgh's own. Chris and his wife, Kat, are two great people. They bought this bus. They laced it out completely to have a fun time. We're going to have some karaoke on there, might play some bingo on the way up, and we're just going to chill. We're going to talk, and then we're going to go take a tour of one of the most fascinating natural occurrences in Pittsburgh. I guess in Pennsylvania. I would consider Laurel Caverns a beautiful natural occurrence, an insane thing to see. I would even label it as that. So hope to see you there, and it's going to be a hell of a time. Now, beyond this field trip, the reason that everyone is here this week, we are sitting down with a very important guest. This week, we sit down with one of my favorite people ever, who is Ben Bartilson. Ben is a chef. He is an entrepreneur. He is a father. He is a husband, and he's an all-around great person. Ben also owns Yoli's Cucina, which is in Jefferson Hills. It is a delicious Italian restaurant. You can go there. You could get anything you could desire, from fantastic wings to fantastic pizza to fantastic pasta, the whole deal. Ben has been on this podcast before. About 3 years ago, on episode 154, Ben came over and talked to me all about the opening of Yoli's and how that all came to be. And then, fast forward, we're 3 years later, Ben has expanded the business to opening a Yoli's catering chapter. Ben is a fascinating guy. His wife, Beth, his two kids, the whole family is just all great people, and I really, really love them. So I wanted to invite Ben over to talk to him about his new endeavor with Yoli's Catering, and talk about what he's been up to these past 3 years, and kind of just go through what's going on in his life as a business owner, as a chef, as a dad, and how he manages all of these things, all while running a delicious restaurant. Now, if you have never been to Yoli's Cucina in Jefferson Hills, I urge you to go and try it out. In fact, my mother's birthday is today, and tomorrow I'm going to go to dinner at my parents' house, and she is picking up Yoli's. This was not a coincidence, or it was a coincidence rather. She didn't know I was interviewing Ben. Ben is someone that I've known for a very long time. He graduated a year before my brother, but was friends with my brother and all of his friends. So Ben has been someone that I've known for many years. My parents have known him for a long time, and we are very, very frequent patrons of Yoli's Cucina. So, I called my mom. I was like, what do you want for your birthday? And she was like, why don't we just get Yoli's? And I was like, hell yeah. Why wouldn't we get Yoli's? And coincident enough, Ben's the guest this week. So I hope you enjoy the episode. If you want to learn all about Yoli's from the very beginning, you could run back to episode 154, check that out, but make sure you listen to this week's episode to get up to date on all the things that are happening with the Yoli's name. Without further ado, episode 277 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Ben Bartilson of Yoli's Cucina and Yoli's Catering. I'll Call You Right Back podcast. All right, put them headphones on. I don't even know if we had headphones last time you were here.
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. I think it was still like very bare bones.
I forget how long ago it was. So this is episode what?
This is going to be like episode 277.
That's not. Well, I think I was 150 something.
It definitely was a minute ago.
Pre-COVID.
Absolutely. I didn't even have the wall painted.
You didn't have this up, but I think it was painted, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was. Hold on. Here it is, right here. Yoli's Cucina, episode 154. This was on March 11th, 2021.
Yeah.
So,
I weighed 154 pounds when we did 154. What's today? 272.
This is 272. Yeah, look, I didn't have the wall painted or nothing.
No.
It was like it was very bare bones. But yeah, I don't know. It's
You've
wild.
had some milestones since then.
I've been
went to the 200 party. Was Sally before or after?
Sally was episode 200.
Yeah,
Sally graced us for episode 200 because she's just a legend like she is. I mean, I don't know. The podcast it's dope. I'm happy with it, but as like your business, I'm sure it gets overwhelming.
You just got to roll with the punches, right? Like there's ebbs, flows, highs, lows.
Is that what you do?
I try.
Yeah, that's what you got to try to do.
I try. I just try to pivot all the time, and
just make it work.
Yeah. And, what do they say? Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, or make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of
limoncello.
Lemons. Yeah, limoncello in your case. So appreciate you driving over. It was way easier to get here than last time we were talking about, which is, a plus. I wanted to have you on here because it's been over 3 years. We both have done things in our lives. We are completely different people.
Yeah.
Grown. I think you have.
Your beard's grown.
Your beard. I was just going to say you have a thicker beard than in that picture.
So absolutely, but this is going to get. I was going to try and go to the barber today. Monday's a tougher spot to get in.
I had no beard. I had just like a little 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah. So what you always keep it tight, huh?
I try, but when you're working and it's hard to get there. So, and now with Enzo, I'm not allowed to go without him. So he had school today. I was going to sneak one in before, and he flipped. I got to go with him. So,
where do you go?
Up on, we live over by Munhall, Lincoln Place. So up on Main Street, shout out my man Frankie at Joe Satira's Barbershop.
There you go.
Yeah, Frankie's great, but Enzo always wants like designs in his head. And we show up and he goes, before school starts, he was like, I want to get MS in my head. I was like, for what? He was like, Mifflin School. I was like, come on, dude. He was like, well, how about MD for mom and dad? I was like, come on, Zoe. He's like, Zoe's good. So we got Zoe. He shows up first day of school with Zoe.
How old is he now?
6. Yeah.
6 years old. I mean, to be that young where you're like, yeah, Zoe's cool. Screw it.
He honestly, it's like any day you have like if you try and look at shit through his eyes, it's ridiculous. Like how happy he is. Like he gets happy. He goes to the flea market with Beth's dad every Saturday, and like there's stuff he brings home. He's so happy about it, and it's like,
love it.
It's unbelievable.
That's where I grew up. Was Olympia Shopping Center, right where in the Ames parking lot. They had the flea market. They had the flea market there Tuesdays and Thursdays.
They go up north for sales, like the old Distinta.
Yeah. Wait, the old Distinta.
Isn't that what it is?
Or you're talking about the place that Merv and all them sell, right? Rossi's.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Okay, Rossi's. Yeah, that was a Lowe's for like literally 2 weeks.
Yeah, speaking of Merv, I saw Merv selling a Yoli's t-shirt up there in the dollar bin. We had that Father's Day tailgate. We had shirts made. He's selling, it was like a Vogelbaum ACDT with the Yoli's on the back. It's in the dollar bin. I was like, you better take that out. It's a vintage.
Love that. You got to appreciate that hustle, though.
Hey, always hustling.
Always born and bred hustler. So you are you're someone that we talked about this last time. Let's preface this. So last time you were on here 3 years ago, we talked about your restaurant, Yoli's. Yep. When did that start?
Started as a pizza shop in it's been 8.5 years now, man.
8.5.
8.5. We started as a pizza shop, and then we transitioned from a pizza shop into dabbled a little catering, brought partners on, and got the restaurant that
Yeah.
So now we've been there 5.5 years.
Now, where was the original Yoli's?
Where our catering shop is now,
okay.
Which was way easier to get to you today. It's like we're on the right kind of off of Broughton Road, like we're on the board. It's technically Jefferson, I think, but it's like South Park, Pleasant Hills.
It's right in that like confluence of everything.
Yep, right past. Like instead of going up the hill to go to South Park, you go over some train tracks. We're hidden there. It's like in some storage units, but there are a bunch of new plans of homes. And dude, it's a store. I'm telling you, my landlord's.
I know. My boys had a garage there forever. You know?
Really?
Yeah, that garage right there. It's like I used to hang around there. They don't have it anymore. Yeah. But right now he runs Goathead Knives. Like I had him on this podcast as well. Yeah. But he had this garage there, and they used to fix my beat ass cars. I would take them there because they did good work. And like the other guy that he was a partner with, my car's actually at Subaru right now getting worked on.
Nice. By him. I saw you were you working on it the other day?
Yeah, dude. I was that was a couple weeks ago. My car, the starter just went. So I priced
you were going to fix it.
I did fix it. The starter I fixed the starter, but it like saved me probably $350 doing it myself. My dad was on vacation. This was the first time, because my dad is like, Johnny on the spot with his garage. Got a big ass square, 900 square foot.
So he knows how to do that stuff.
Every single thing. And that's why I don't know how, because whenever we were growing up, he was always like, hold the flashlight and like, to be fair, he knows how to do everything, but growing up, it wasn't the easiest to learn from him because you're a gopher,
100%,
and he wants to get it done quick, right, and fast.
Give it back.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll do it. I just want to do it right. Don't want to fuck up this customer's shit. So I don't know how to do anything now.
So funny, like I'm not going to turn this into like a therapy pod. This isn't. I haven't seen my dad in like 20 years. Fine, doing great. But as a kid, so he left us. I was like a junior in high school. Okay, it's going to turn funny, I promise. So he leaves, and like I don't know, he's like great at everything, like real good with his hands, and but he never showed me how to do anything. So I remember my mom bitching at me. The sink was leaking or something. Bazone makes fun of me he brings this up all the time and goes, my mom's like, you can't fix shit. And I was like, I'm sorry, Dad didn't show me how to fix the plumbing before he walked out on us. Bazone drops it on me but it's true. Like, I don't know how to do. And I'm one of those guys, like I'll pay people to like, and I appreciate your hustle. Like I see I
would love to pay people to do it, but it's just like the pockets ain't, my pockets are a little bit empty.
Mine would be more full if I didn't pay people to do that kind of stuff.
It's crazy because like I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this part's fucked up on my car. Okay, now being in the age that we're in now, I Google it, I find a YouTube video of the exact thing. Okay, so I watch multiple of them, and I'm like, I'll definitely do this real quick. So I call my dad. He's getting ready to go on vacation up to his camp, and I go, yo, I'm gonna commandeer the garage this weekend. I'm gonna change the starter on this car. And he's like, well, what? I mean, like, you're gonna do it? And he's not there, and he's usually there, like helping me out with shit like that. He's like a walking encyclopedia. So I was like, I watch YouTube. I'm good. He's like, well, you got to watch some of them people on there are fucking jokers, don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, I could assure you that this dude posted a 4-minute video, A through Z. I know how to do what I'm doing. Went there and I fixed the starter, but then I come home. I'm like, fuck yeah, I fixed this starter. We're all aces.
Yeah.
I come home, driveway, little drop of oil. And this is going on intermittently, like once every like 3-4 days, like a size of a quarter. Okay, just a drop of oil on there. A couple years back, I had the same thing happen. My head gasket was gone. I had to pay someone to get that fixed. It was like $3,000 to get that fixed in a Subaru. So my car is leaking oil. I take it up to Subaru, and they're like, "Oh yeah, your power steering pump is gone." So I'm like, I start looking at that YouTube.
Yeah,
that's a little bit more. In the weeds.
Yeah.
I could have did it, but then you got to have a pump to fucking pump out the power steering fluid and flush it through. And I'm like, that's where you lost me. So now I'm paying, it's like $600 to get this fucking thing done.
So it's funny you said head gasket was gone. I don't know what that means. Like, if you ask me, I'd be like the leader of the gasket. Like, who's that? Who's the head gasket? I don't know. Like, no. So last Thursday, we send my boy Chad does like all the running for us. I get trucks to come in, but we do Restaurant Depot twice a week. We got a big Yoli's van. he breaks down on Thursday, something with the head gasket and something else. He's like, guys like, yeah, you hear that? You got some back pressure. It's a little more. He's like, Mike B. I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I know we're like, we're getting another van. I know that.
The funniest part is you're like, as these people are telling you shit, I'm thinking in my mind, like, don't let them think that you're a fool, that you know nothing. And
it's written all over me.
You're like, yeah, I do kind of hear that a little bit. But then you're like, he could be fucking with you and be like,
I definitely heard something. I don't know if it was bad or good. I heard like a little, he's like, that's back pressure. I was like, I just heard a little like bubbling.
Bubbling. Can't be good.
Can't be good.
Can't be good. Full circle though, it's like you just got to roll with the punches, right?
So we, I'm like, we have the 2 locations on, so I'm like taking, and you film me coming in. I'm not a car guy. Like I used to be at one time in life. I had,
you were worried about what you were driving.
Yeah. I don't care anymore. Like I don't, and I'm bad at that kind of stuff.
What did you drive in high school?
I didn't, we're going down memory lane.
Yeah. I want to know.
So look, I didn't get my driver's license until I was like 24. Day before I turned 16.
24?
Listen to me. Day before I turned 16, which was a godsend actually. Like, I drank crazy in college. I probably would have had like a knock on, never a Dewey, don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
But like
16.
This day before I turned 16, my dad took me to first time. I never, like dads will like, as you're growing up, like get in the seat, just go around the block. Never did it. So it's the first time before. So I'm doing the 2 feet thing. And I'm nervous and I pull out of the garage and I'm like, drifting a little bit, and I'm like, where do you want me to go? I'm doing the 2 feet, and he's like, well, straighten out. And I was like, what? He yells, and I panic. He was like, well, stay in the car. So I got to panic, and I panicked, and I slammed on the gas instead of the brake. Ran over the stop sign in front of our house, like under the car. And not to bring Bazone up twice in the first 45 seconds, but he lived across the street. His brother Vinny comes out, and it's like his dad thought the shovels or something fell on the porch, and he's like, no, I think Ben's out there. Like, and I don't know if the statute of limitations are on this, but my dad told the cop that he was driving, because I'm 40 now, so I'm sure.
Yeah, you're way over that. Yeah. You're good.
But cops came, stop sign stuck under the car. So I was 15, I wasn't 16 for like another day. So I was shook at first, which why I didn't drive. And then it was like, Beth and I started dating in high school. My sisters drove me everywhere. Beth drove me everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't get a license till I was like 24.
You had other people around that were
what a scumbag I was.
I mean, like, you were shook, like you said.
I was. And then like, I just didn't want, like, you start drinking in college and stuff, and it was like I never had to worry about, like, and we didn't have Ubers and stuff back then, so I was just like walking to parties.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't have a license,
Yeah, it just wasn't a worry of mine. And then like you get older and you're like, start trying to get jobs and like relying on other people.
Did you pass your test the first time?
No, I passed my permit the first time and I failed parallel. It might be the last time I parallel parked too. It was when I'm not like I don't.
You'll circle the block until someone leaves.
I feel like first time here was like very like surface, like now it's you're diving deep. This is gonna be like a therapeutic session.
Yeah, we'll definitely be getting into the charcuterie that you brought and your history into the restaurant, but it's a little bit more about like your character. Like we know each other, so to give people a little bit of backstory, you graduated my brother's age, 6 years older than me.
He's 1 year younger than me, but like all my sister. I graduated the year before Matt.
01.
I graduated 01. Yep, Matt was 02. But Matt, like Tommy, Bazone, and like Leach, and
all these people.
So I knew your brother really well because I hung with that crew.
Okay, that makes sense. So I always knew of Ben growing up. Then fast forward till I'm an adult living on my own. I hear that you have this restaurant. Ralph puts me onto your restaurant. He's like, you got to get up Yoli's.
Ralph's been from best. Day one our biggest supporter.
Yeah, you can't. He's a great guy. Same thing with me. Like I started this podcast and it was
found out about you from Ralph. Like
I know.
He was on the pod.
Just a great guy. You can't help it.
Ralph's all about his people. So like if you're like
if you're a good person,
if Ralph deems you a good person, he's gonna rep you
100%. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. That's how that's pretty much how everyone from the port is. If you're a good person and you're in the circle, you're in the circle. But it's cool to see that like later in my years I'm trying to like interview all these people, these business owners, and like I go to your spot and you obviously, if I would have went to Yoli's and your shit was trash, I might have not, I wouldn't invite you on. But like every time it's just like, it's banging. So the first one, episode 154, like we were talking about before, if you you want to get like a, come through fine, a little refined, go back to 154 and then come back to this one after. But, we'll get to it as we do.
This is 2.0 tonight.
Well, so when you passed your first one, did you, you're a decent driver, 24?
No, I'm a terrible driver. Like,
what was your first car?
99 Mazda Protege. In what year was that then? Like 2000, and it was a little bit older, but it was like a little. Yeah. It was my sister's first car.
It's clean.
It was a
little hand me down. It was clean.
I didn't. So I was in a bad car accident right before I got married. I actually wrecked. I hit a Mack truck head on. It's another.
Jesus.
So I joke with Beth all the time. You hit a Mack truck head on one time, all of a sudden you're a bad driver. I'm not a great driver.
That's all right though. Now when you're 24 and you're out of college, what'd you go to college for?
I was going to be a teacher. I first went for secondary English. I enjoy writing a lot. Pretty good. I had
really?
I actually, dreaming wise, thought I'd be like a sports writer and maybe like sports commentary, do this kind of thing. I say, way too much. We'll count that.
I know. I do too.
Yeah.
I just stopped cutting them out. Fuck it.
It's part of it's who I am as a person.
That's what it is. Now, but you. You always were good at writing?
I was always, my mom would say, she calls me full of wind, piss, and excitement all the time. And I was always like a good creative writer, just bullshit. I've always been a good bullshitter.
Yeah.
But writing had always come naturally. And I actually had a couple scholarships academically to go, not like huge ones like athletic scholarships, but I won a couple essays and
wow.
People giving scholarships. Yeah, but then I didn't I was pretty structured in high school, and then I think it's kind of worse. I didn't drink in high school. I didn't party in high school.
Yeah, then you get a little freedom.
You get a little freedom, and I'm it was like Ben in high school. And it's like Benny B at Slippery Rock. My mom jokes all the time. I was like the original Van Waters. She doesn't know who that is, but I was at Slippery Rock for 7 years. I don't have a degree. And it was funny. I was listening to Dagny you had on here, and she was like, I think I was at the Rock at the same time. And I told her I listened, and I was like, we probably were blacked out at a party at the same point at Slippery Rock together. But I started for secondary English and then switched to elementary. And I actually love kids, but what I didn't realize until I started observing and student teaching was I don't have the patience I thought I did.
Yeah.
And I'm really I'm probably less than 2 semesters away from having a teaching degree, to be honest, between CCAC and Slippery Rock. I was going back and forth. I was not, I think I got Dean's List one semester, I think. And it's just to prove to my mom I could do it.
Yeah.
Because I knew I could do it. I just wasn't, I didn't go to class.
Yeah.
I didn't.
100%.
Yeah. So.
That's what I went to Slippery Rock for. Elementary ed and special ed, though.
Yeah. You're way younger than me, though. You wouldn't have been up there when I was there.
No, I was there in 2009 for a blink of an eye.
Where did you go? Full year? First one semester?
I went a full year, but then, I went a full year, then I failed out of it. There was academic probation. I just did not give a fuck about going to class.
I had a great, I was up there with Bazone and Neil Vanek and Troy Casper.
You got a lot of friends up there, so it's and I didn't drink, so that was the only thing to do up there. There wasn't a lot of shit around there. It was go to the people's apartments and just drink.
Yeah. Well, Ginger Hill opened my freshman year. My mom said it was an omen of it was a dry campus till I got up there, and then it was there was nothing, and then there's a Sheets and in Ginger Hill, and then they opened
pizza.
Yeah. So. Again, I was listening when you had Dagny on and you were Cafaro's and Bob's. Love Bob's. I thought Cafaro's was banging because I used to eat it out of a box sitting for a week.
100%. That's because they were open till 3. And if you get a large pizza, they would give you 4 fountain drinks for free.
For free. And then, it was key. You have no money up there. Their sausage pizza was fire. I remember.
100%.
And then I went up there it's 10 years ago now, maybe even longer. Was going to Grove City for something. I stopped through. not to like trash anybody. I'm sure. I hope they do great. They'll do good business. They got college kids.
Yeah.
It was garbage. I was like, I thought it was the best pizza I've ever had.
Well, that's like, we're eating Tostinos. It's a step up from Tostinos.
I thought it was amazing. And I'm like, how the taste buds change, Yeah,
well, I mean, like whenever you're a purveyor of fine pizzas and Italian dishes yourself, I'm sure your levels get changed.
Speaking of, I have to ask you how to pronounce it properly, because I agree with you. Like, besides, obviously, I'm biased. Like, I make pizza and I love my pizza. Is it Badamos or Badamos? Badamos, and it's. I actually think it might be my favorite pizza in the city. I met him after a Pirate game. Anthony, super good dude. But I went to the one. He moved on in Dortmund. I had a catering over that way.
Yeah.
I think this was in the summer, and
I think you sent me a picture. You and him both.
It's a really good dude. You talk about like good people meeting good people. Like,
dude,
like you put me on to him. He's unbelievably nice. He's doing a tremendous job. But like, I'm not like one of these guys. Like, I'm not going to say other places on here and like trash anybody, but like all of us can eat. So I'm not going to like tell you make the pizza wrong. Like you use trash. There's guys that are doing.
I'll go to 100 different places and eat pizza. I like it all for different reasons. He's
a great dude, but that pizza is banging.
It's banging, dude. It really is.
I really think it might be. Now, that's the thing about pizza. I tell people all the time when they're like, I had one of my best friends, she worked with me. She doesn't like my dough, and it's okay. Like, it's super. She grew up at, like, she's a Mini-O's girl. I like Mini-O's.
Listen, this is like, I'm so happy. I feel like it's serendipitous that we're talking about this because you know how I said the first episode, we kind of got into like your whole history of the restaurant.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about pizza and like your thoughts about all these things. So you're saying that someone doesn't like your dough that works with you?
No, she doesn't anymore. And she actually made the dough the best out of anybody that worked there. And the point that I'm getting at is it's all a preference of like, pizza is so subjective to where it's like you like a sweeter sauce, you like thinner, you like hand toss a little chewier, a little thicker, you like not more sauce, not enough sauce, you like light cheese, you like no cheese, you like we can all win. Like there's to me it's not like a right way and a wrong way to do it.
There's some places that do it wrong way, but like
they use the wrong way they do it is by using inferior product and like to me and again it's still a preference to me. Like I got a buddy that's like he calls pizza titties and says like it's still it might be it might not be the best pizza but it's still titties. You know what I mean? Like it's
100%.
It wasn't the best pair of boobs I ever saw in my life,
but it's like still there. Yeah,
like
100%.
You know,
it's all good, but it's all good for different reasons. Like you're saying, I mean, there's all different kinds, but you know, for you, I feel like I could not like understand someone like a chef who would be like that, who couldn't find the good in other people's stuff.
Or appreciate the fact that, and this is what, even the guys that like, if it's not like the Cafaros, for instance, like they're still like, it's a mom and pop shop. It's not like, I respect the hell out of what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's not my preference. But I would never like, I'm going to support them. I'm always going to support the mom and pop over the
100%.
But there's a lot of good pizza popping up in around like different styles and just different,
Well, so I mean, your pizza is definitely unique. Like the pizzas at Yoli's are definitely unique. So I'm curious to know when you started, you know, what was it still the same as it is now, or did that develop over time?
It's the same. The oven we use at the restaurant is a little bit different than the oven that we had at the pizza shop that is where the catering center is now. It's actually Veltri's original oven. Patty's was using it for a little while and then they weren't doing, they didn't need it. It's beautiful. And, my boy Kane had to move it. We had to get like a tow truck, like a flatbed. It's such a pitch to move.
So you're saying the one at Veltri's is the one at the catering spot now?
Yep. That was our original pizza. Well, the original pizza oven I bought, I had no idea how busy we are going to be. Bought like a little 2-deck. And
originally when you were in Jefferson Hills, just in Jefferson Hills. Like your mindset then, whenever you did this, you said you bought like a little 2-deck and you were just making pizzas and some catering things, you said, like that kind of
so
led into
we never, and this was 2015, the pizza shop I always wanted to be an Italian restaurant, maybe in an Italian deli, maybe like, and have pizza. I didn't want pizza
to be the focus.
I didn't want to be a pizza shop. I didn't want that to be the focus, but that's how we got in. There was a spot, there were a couple spots we almost bid on. One was in White Oak, in Oak Park Mall. I think it's a Palmer's now.
Okay.
I forget what it was called before when we were looking at it. One was, in Green Tree, like Mario's, I think it is, across from, and it was just kind of, I didn't like the original spot when we looked at it. Beth was like better at the vision of like seeing what it could be.
Yeah.
And I never wanted, once I knew our inn was going to be a pizza shop, I started messing with pizza and like trying to perfect whatever our pizza style was going to be. And I wanted to be more like hand toss, more like
yours is an elevated pie rather than it. Like I wouldn't consider your pizza a football pizza at all.
No, it's thicker. It's not like a thick, so it's like an in between. It's not like Vincent's thick, you know what I mean? But it's not like
it's not a Badamo's thin.
No, but what I like about Badamo's, all his different, like, I didn't know what I like better, his
Sicilian
or the
Sicilian
original.
is
Sicilian
crazy.
was unbelievable. It had like the one I got had ricotta and basil, and it was unbelievable. It was just Sunday afternoon. So remember, I'm like honestly like fantasize about something.
You could smell it drifting.
It was
in.
just by accident. I'm driving. I was like, I had just met him like a week prior after a Pirate game. And I was like, it was kind of fate. And I stopped in and I was like, the place is awesome. He has like his fam. He sells like all the products that he uses.
Italian goods and everything.
It's awesome.
You walk in there and it's like a cool little Italian shop. You know, that dude is so cool that, I hit him up and, whenever I was doing that benefit bingo, I hit up some of the people like how gracious you were, but he comes in and he was like, yeah, dude, I got you on all these gift cards. And then he was like, yo, I have season tickets to the Penguins. Like, let me just give you a pair of tickets to give away. That's too. Awesome. And it's like, I mean, he's just like, he wants nothing in return. He's just a good dude. That's all it was.
He's a really good dude. And, I haven't been to, I wasn't at the original one and I just saw
Mount Lebanon one.
Yeah, now it's Dormont, right? Like it's just
now
not
it's
too
Dormont.
Far. Yep, I was at Dormont.
Yeah.
It was like right after he moved.
Yeah, the original one was sick. It was like a, old school, mind you, The Sopranos, the way it looked. And then the north side location is sick. But then
I just saw, I went to a Pirate game with neighbor yesterday.
Yeah.
And he lives in the north side. And I parked over by his house. So I'm leaving and I saw, I'm still, Badamos.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep messing up.
That's all right. I don't think he cares what you call it as long as you're just,
I like Badamas. I just got to keep saying
it. Yeah, just Badamas. Yeah. But, when you're developing this like pizza in the beginning, like before you even opened this pizza restaurant, what did you do? Did you work in food at all?
Yeah, man. I not to get like crazy in the history, but I worked in restaurant. My first job ever was I worked in restaurants forever, and then I got out of it and was selling industrial equipment.
Yeah.
But my first job ever actually was at Pizza and Gyro.
I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember that.
It was with like Ralphie worked there. My cousin Dino, full circle. He's running the catering shop.
Is that still there?
Pizza and Gyro?
Yeah.
I think it is. I'm not over that way too often. But
I don't know if I don't know last time I drove past there.
It was like, it was Anthony Barbera was on pies. He was a beast.
I remember that. Yeah. Jack just making pizzas back there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What was the video store that used to be in there? What was that called?
It wasn't Pittsburgh Video, was it?
No, it wasn't. I cannot remember what it wasn't ET Video. That was the one that my aunt and uncle owned, but it wasn't.
They own that.
Yeah, ET Video.
Yeah,
over where I think what's over there now, Velcher, or what was there's a pizza place over there now. It was over in that little shopping center where Patty's used to be, and then Patty's moved into the old.
Yeah, what's there now?
I don't know what the hell's there, but yeah, I can't remember what that was. Maybe Hollywood Video? Not Hollywood. No. Either way. But
it wasn't a Blockbuster.
No. Blockbuster was in Oak Park Mall. But
we had Pittsburgh Video up in Portview. That's where I grew up.
I don't know if I
used to walk up there and see if we could sneak in the adult room. But then we'd
Yeah.
always go back.
I remember the one in Olympia Shopping Center. They had that might have been a Hollywood Video or something like that, but they had the beaded curtain in the back.
Yeah.
21 and older.
Yeah,
you
just
pop
take
around and
you're
see
like,
it. It's like, what are you going to do? You're just sitting up there rewinding tapes. But
What a time to be alive.
So I mean, like, if you're working in food and all that, are you ever just doing pizza?
No, I never just did pizza. Like I made pizzas everywhere I worked, but I was never like
A focus on the pizza guy.
I was always really good at like remembering things and really good at kind of like delegating, I guess. Like
managing shit.
Like I've kind of been prepping that my whole life.
That's all right though.
But I never, when we found that the pizza shop was our in, I kind of refocused. Or we were never like a normal pizza shop. Like we had pizzas, but I didn't have like 45 different sizes, and like I had like a couple specialties. But our in was like, I'm doing like this slow roasted Italian beef, like our Balboa beef with giardiniera
The
and
craziest.
aioli. I'm doing Brussels sprouts.
You did
with,
that
like,
back then?
That's what. Yes, and I think that's why we won, because like why people liked us, because we were different. We weren't a normal pizza shop. So
Yeah.
like I say all the time with like we outgrew the reason why we shifted into changing the pizza shop now into a catering center. And I'm very grateful for our time as a pizza shop, but it was never what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it was
Just a stepping stone.
and we outgrew it. And I'm very grateful for everyone that, like there are people that are upset that they can't, like, now here's the deal. Dino's down there now. If you call and I have it to make it and we're not busy with catering, he'll make you a pie. Come grab a pie. Like, I'm just not doing the nickel and dime and delivering.
Not just
like
the whole focus of it.
Correct. And we were doing, it was creative, but it wasn't, you couldn't call a pizza shop and get bacon balsamic Brussels sprouts delivered. Like nobody else was doing that.
Yeah.
And it was always kind of until we got a restaurant what I wanted to do. And then when we got the restaurant, I had some other guys running the place. And it's hard to be in two different places at once. And it's hard to get people to, I had some really talented people, really good guys. I don't have a bad word to say about them, but they have other interests in life, and it's not like
You can never expect those people to give as much care that you do yourself.
Yeah, and it's hard to. I kind of let them do their own thing because it was like. Not out of sight, out of mind, but like I'm focusing on. So when the last guy that was running it, he had 2 kids. And Chuck and his wife are great, but because Brandon and Billy were doing it, and then they got other jobs, and then we had another guy in there. When he didn't want to do it anymore, I had a decision to make. Do I just keep plugging and playing, like, or let's ramp up his catering, man? Like catering is like you reach so many more people.
All right, so let's do this real quick. So you opened the first Yoli's at what year?
End of 2015.
Okay, and how long did that just run?
2018.
2018. And then did that stop for a second?
It stopped, and we transitioned up to the restaurant in Jefferson Hills. And then
how long did that happen?
2018, and then we reopened as a pizza shop in
22?
Nope, COVID. It was June of 2020, I think. No, June 2021.
Okay, yeah. That sounds more like it. So up until that point though, like where does the cater, like I know that you have the restaurant and I know you have the pizza shop down there, you did, but like where does the catering come in? Like where did that like idea come from? So you like tell me about whenever you moved into the restaurant where you weren't doing catering at that time.
I was doing catering first out of so when we transitioned, before I got the restaurant, I transitioned I'm doing catering out of, do you know where the Department of Energy is? Like right up from where my pizza shop is, where about South Park. It's like the DOE. It's like Nettles up there. And like, it's like, I had a lady that had the facility up there, and I didn't have the space to do, they would like look under your car, like bomb stuff. You look like you didn't.
Well, that's wild. Yeah. So you had a commercial kitchen in this area up there?
And they were letting me, I was renting it off of her. And then this is what I always say. The concept of what we started as, this is what I always say about business, we've rolled with so many punches, and I'm not going to get in like the ins and outs. Like I had a buddy that was a partner that didn't work out. Like so that's why we kind of transitioned from the pizza in the first place. And like I'm still cool with them, and I'm not going to get into like
yeah.
But it's anytime it's been like either a bump in the road. We never stopped. We transitioned and we rolled with punches. And I looked at like how do we get. I never stopped.
Yeah.
So it was like I tell people all the time, I just had a buddy who's trying to get going, and you just got to be ready for anything. Like I made so many mistakes when I first started with getting those spam calls. Like, you want to save money on your energy? I'm like, yeah, who wouldn't? Yeah. And I'm like, next bill comes, I'm like, son of a bitch. So I made so many mistakes, or like bringing friends on. Like from my partners now, I have guys, they're a group. They are so good at what I'm not good at. And I think the biggest thing in partnership is complimenting each other.
Yeah.
And I had friends that wanted to do it with me, but they wanted to be with me and like be me.
Yeah.
I didn't need another me. I need like
you need person to fulfill. You need your yin to your yang.
Yeah, and what I'm not good at, I'm great with people. I'm very creative. I'm great in the kitchen. I'm great with customers. I'm great with building a brand and marketing. I'm the worst back office guy. Like it's not my thing. You know, like it's just not like
yeah.
So the guy I have now, it's like when I first started, it's like business is kind of like everybody gets paid before you do.
Yeah.
But like you got to make sure you're paying the right people first. So I'm like making sure like, oh, my buddies are working with me. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, I'm bringing everybody on. Like these are the vendors I'm using and I'm paying cash. No, man, pay taxes first. Pay all your bills first.
How are you learning all this shit in the beginning?
Not just on the fly, doing it wrong.
Yeah. Learn from experience.
Yeah, honestly, doing it wrong and not like recognizing when you did something wrong and fixing it, and not like feeling sorry for yourself or like blaming other people or like just honestly, it's the only way to learn is like to fail a little bit. And what we were lucky is our failure wasn't. We never stopped. Like we always had, Yoli's was always there. And like the reason why I knew it was going to work is because every time we transitioned, people were bummed. Like, oh, you're leaving the pizza shop to like, I knew right away from the time we opened, we were so lucky in the area we were in. And there's still a ton of people from day one who have been nothing but supportive. They just wanted to see us win. So like, I didn't know if it was going to work. Like I didn't want to do a pizza shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's going to order Brussels sprouts from a pizza delivery guy? You know what I mean? Like who's going to, and there are some of our best sellers. Like I remember, and you knew Billy, first time I trained Billy, I'm like, all right, we're going to learn how to make Yoli rollies today. And he was like, you didn't invent the fucking pepperoni roll, Ben. It's a Yoli, but like people love Yoli rollies.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, those are the best. Like the Yoli rollies, it's a godsend.
Yeah, and it's like, we didn't know what was going to work and what you don't. I tell people always ask. I just had a girl working with us had to do a project for school. She's, I think she's a senior. She's asking me like, we have to ask someone who's successful 3 things to be successful in business. I was like, yeah, like thinking she's going to ask me. I was like, you want my opinion? I was like, you think I'm successful? And she was like, yeah, this is great. I was like, man, thanks. Like, cause you don't, when you're in it every day, you're like, and success is measured differently. Like it's not,
you're never settled. I would imagine like you yourself, you're always,
and
just
it's not, if you're in this
out.
To get rich, like maybe that comes someday, but like one of my flaws, I think, is I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by, like people liking it and the feeling that I get from people saying how much they loved it and telling other people about it like that. That's what motivates me. The money comes with it. You have to make money or else you're not going to be open.
Yeah.
But that's what motivates me is like the feeling I get. That little kid that started working with us as a 14-year-old, she's a great kid. Like, we had an interview. You think I'm successful? Like that's the stuff like, or like the way my kids look at me when they come in and it's like their restaurant. They're like telling Enzo's like, yeah, I own a restaurant. Like coming and running around. Like that's there are people that are, and I just heard something today, the fall of Chipotle is like, they're going to study in like business schools forever because they had the world by the balls. And
do they not anymore?
Money wise, you ever been? When's the last time you been in Chipotle? The burritos,
like
the
week.
size. Yeah, it's not.
Well, boys are tripping up. I always get a bowl. You always get that.
I'm saying like from I have not, and I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Like you always have to transition, but like all these big corporations, and not to like shit on corporate America, everybody's trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
But what I feel like the reason why we're always going to win is because it's always, and that's why I love having like my family doing it with me, and like my cousin Dino's running the catering center, and, cause it means something to us. You know what I mean? Like it's our grandma. Like
it's not just another like cash cow where it's like Chipotle is like use the minimal amount of agreements or ingredients, charge the max.
Exactly.
That you can.
You remember before like how big things used to be, and like now it's like
that's a good point.
And I get it. Like but now you have all these private investors, and you got all these different mouths to feed. And that's why there was a time where I thought we were gonna. I mean, we have a spot in Brookline right now that we were gonna open. Next to a bar that my partner's own. It's so hard to get people that I don't want to be, and I'm not going to say the name of this place because I like a lot of people that own this particular, but when you start franchising out and you have like 35, 40 different places, I know some of them are fire, but it's so hard to
keep that consistency.
Have 40
across
places
the board.
up to your standards of what you want. It was even just hard for me with just one other, like just with the pizza shop. So now with the catering center, I can be so much more involved. So I'm still prepping most of the stuff at the restaurant. I'm still, my catering coordinators, like at both places. It's intertwined. It's almost like the same in two different buildings. Where before it was like, this is a pizza shop, and then if I open another pizza shop here, it's separate entities. Like, but they're all, what people don't realize is if you get a bad experience at one of those, I'm the one getting a text from like my buddy was at Yoli's. It was trash. And I wasn't there to do that. Like keeps me up at night. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say it's like, I want to have all the control, but like if it's going to be my name on the line and it's going to be like my representation, I want to be able to.
Well, that's like literally why I don't have people help me with this. It's like, I'm like just a control freak, 100%. I'm a control freak. I just like, I don't want any partners with this shit. I don't want to like, but that's just on me. I need to be better at it because like I know that there's times where, that other people will be the yin to my yang, and could. And
that's honestly where I recognize I needed help with certain things, and like if I was going to grow and get to where I want to be, and that's my partners are great at that. But when we're talking like trying to have other people do the things that I'm good at because I can't be there to do it. That's the stuff. Like I would never. If somebody else was running one of our pizza shops and like I'm not going to be over him. No, my partner Danny might like he might you're doing the money wrong or but I'd be like, you're making that pizza wrong. Like you're talking to these customers all wrong. Like what? Like comp it. Like what it cost us $5 so he doesn't go home and write a Yelp review. Like that's the stuff that would drive me crazy. The things that I can control, and it's too hard when it's like watered down and it's all
and what
over.
You said on the last episode, can't control what I don't, can't fix what I don't know.
I always say that's the. I think a lot of times my staff is afraid to tell me something, and I'm like, I would much rather hear it right now than
100%.
Than me read it online and like it could have been fixed. I can't fix what I don't know.
I mean, what's like how much weight does like Yelp hold on a restaurant?
So there's always going to be people that I think kind of use that as their main factor. I not that I gave up on them.
Were you someone like that?
Never. I would only, I would use it like if we're out of town and we're looking at like but I would never.
It's like, I ain't going to a spot that's 1.5.
What I realized, exactly. Like there's something to be said for, like consistently, like we're the 2, like, that's great. We're not, I'm saying like if
a restaurant in general,
correct. But I don't, I'm pretty good at like sifting through the bullshit of like these people are like think that they're like a food critic and they're like overestimating their opinion. Like everybody has an opinion on everything right now to where like you can't go on there, and I've always just killed them with kindness and like but what drives me nuts is all of it could be fixed in house. Like I always bend over backwards to make sure. Well, I'm not stupid enough to think we're going to be perfect. Like we're going to, especially with growing, and if it's just percentages. Like if 97% of the people love you when you first opened, and now you grew 3 times as much, and you're still taking care of 90 like 97% of the people still love you, that 3%, it's more people that don't like you. You know what I mean? It's just averages.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're still like hitting on your averages, but it's like you're reaching, you can't, it's one of the hard things for me is like, it's taken it's not even fully there, but not letting everything bother me or keep me up at night.
Well,
like,
that's what I was just going to ask you, because that's why I even brought it up, because you said that, like, you know, the things that like eat at you is like, you know, the customer's experience and things like that, and helping people and making people happy in house like that. It's like, how do you, like, what was it like in the beginning? Because I'm sure you were the same in the beginning, and anything, you know, like I remember whenever I started this and I got like some critiques in the beginning, I'm like, well, fuck you. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, now I read them and I don't get a lot at all, but like I'll read them, but I take what people say and like, I try to apply
honestly,
it.
It's a sign of maturity to where it's like, and you could honestly, being a rational adult, find out when someone's just nitpicking, or if it's like a legitimate, like,
a legitimate gripe.
Correct. So when the first Friday we opened at the pizza shop in, it was January.
Just get smacked.
So we're like, we open on a Monday and it's like, I think I'm like, you know, fake it till you make it. I'm like, I don't know where anything is. And I'm like, and our one boy was helping us. He was a friend from church, JR. He's a great dude, but he thought he was helping us out. We had a line out the door, and we're getting smacked. And I'm like, phone's on hold because I got like 50 checks hanging. Nobody knows where anything is. And before I bought that Veltre's oven, we just had a little 2-deck, and every time you would open it, the heat would come out. Like, so the tops would cook, the bottom's white. Yeah. So it's like every time. And I'm doing 18-inch pizzas at the time. I could only fit 2 at a time. I didn't think I was going to be this busy.
How long did you have that to like kind of test run it before you opened the restaurant?
It's 2 weeks.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, like,
so this is like literally trial by fire.
Oh my
you're
God.
Like just
and
figuring it out.
I had no idea we were going to be this busy. So like, I'm like master, like, in my own head of like, I talk too much.
We're going to be
so like, I'm like just marketing, like I'm telling everybody, thinking like, I got to tell everybody. I used to do this. I should learn my lesson. I used to throw bangers at my mom's house and I'd be afraid no one was going to show up. So I'd start like, you tell these people. And it's like, 500 people at my mom's little house in Upper 10th Ward.
Unreal.
So I do that with the pizza shop. I'm like nervous, like nobody's going to like try us. Nobody's going to, and we're like, I'm pumping it. I'm like teasing it for like 2 weeks. Like, you know, we're opening, like thinking it's going to like, we'll have a couple weeks of like trying it out. Dude, first Friday, we got a line out the door, I had like 40 checks hanging, phones off the hook. I had to take the phone off.
How many people were working?
I mean, probably 8 of us, but none of us had any idea. I'm supposed to be quarterback. I don't know
that's what I mean.
So I'm sweating. I'm trying to tell them like, hey, we're good. And inside I'm like,
fucking cockroaches running around, like mice running around the kitchen.
Yeah. First of all, to find another term, you can't say cockroaches in my kid. You can't say cockroaches find another term.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
No, it's funny. But so JR thinks he's helping us, grabs like a guest check to take orders. He didn't know what was on our menu. So he comes back in with, we're already crushed. I got like 40 tickets hanging. I don't know how I'm going to finish them. I get these checks back. Says like, this dude wants a Reuben. This one wants a burger, a gyro. I was like, did you read my menu? Like this, we don't have any of this shit.
Yeah.
Like, so all these people like ordered all this stuff. Not only by the time I get to them, they're already waiting for 20 minutes when I look at this ticket. So I got to go. I comped so much shit the first weekend, to where like, I could have just been like a dick and said like, I'm sorry, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I ate all of it. Like I gave so much credit out. I gave, it was the right thing to do. I mean, we
probably got people back
100%. And it like started with like, people from that day, they already wanted to see us win, but they were like watching us sweat. I caught Beth in the back, like, not crying, but she was like, is this going to be our weekend? So we didn't have Enzo yet. It was just Bailey, but it's like, she's working her corporate job, like, during the week. And it's like, is this our weekend? It's like, it was always my dream. It wasn't her dream, you know?
Yeah.
And, it's like this, and in a sick way, it kind of like got like that adrenaline. Like that's what gets me like, yeah,
you're just going.
Once I saw that people wanted to see, I'm like, all right, we're in it.
We got the momentum.
We're in it.
Yeah.
So what do we do? And we, that's a really good community over that way. Like, I don't know if I always thought we were talking before, I looked in White Oak. I had a couple other spots. There was honestly all the way on Green Tree. There's a spot I thought we were going to buy. I don't know if we would have worked in any other. And you wouldn't know. I wouldn't know until we did it. But it was the perfect spot for us.
Yeah, it was like a natural funnel of the amount of people.
Absolutely.
If you went to Green Tree on that like first time, probably would have been a little bit more unforgiving.
Yeah, and like nobody knows me out there, and like nobody knows our family, and nobody like there was such a sense of like, and we don't live in Jefferson, but there was always just this sense of community, like people like it was the perfect spot for us.
Now, when you started to develop the pizza, in the beginning, how did you settle on what you have now? Because I feel like it's a unique one.
So I don't know.
How did you even start with the recipe? Where'd you even get the recipe from?
My cousin Dominic and I messed around with he's worked in pizza shops. His brother Gino had a shop in North for Sales, and it was kind of like based off of like his pie. We like switched around a little bit, but it wasn't. I didn't want it to be too thin. I didn't want it to be too thick. I knew I wanted the quality ingredients, so we used in my opinion, the best cheese we could get, the best pepperoni we could get. Sauce. My sauce was trash the first time I did. No, it was just an accident. Like I think I put like 2 times as much salt as it was supposed to be sugar. Yeah. And I'm like, Dom, he was just like, what the fuck did you do? And that was like leading up to. Yeah, you just keep doing shit wrong.
What was your preference? Like whenever you were growing up?
When I was a kid, my favorite pizza was Veltri's.
Okay.
And I'd say it's probably, and the owner there is a great dude. Where we grew up in White Oak, it was because on a larger scale, it's like ALOs or Minios. Like we didn't never venture to
Never.
When I was a kid, we had Pizza Fridays, but it was like we'd do like Max's and Jervo's Burger. Like my mom loved Pizza Hut when I was a little kid. Like you know what I mean? Like
but if you were from that area, like our choices were either Veltri's and Lucci's.
So I was just gonna say, and where we grew up, it was like, are you a Lucci's guy or a Veltri's guy? And they're both great families, and they're both done it for a long time. My preference, same with Italian restaurants. Like it was like, are you Lucci's or Woody's? My family was always Woody's.
Yeah.
We like Tilly's because my grandma Yoli cooked there, but it was like in those communities, it's like you're one or the other.
My parents, we never went to Tilly's. We never went to Woody's.
Yeah.
Barely ever. And I think I honestly grown up probably twice Woody's in my entire life, but we were just a Lucci's family.
Yeah. And that's that's where you go. Like my family was, if my grandma wasn't cooking and they liked Woody's. So we'd go to Woody's, and you'd like being in the area, you'd like have people would have parties, and you'd like, it's all preference thing. It's all subjective.
Now,
but I was long short of it, I was a Veltri's guy. Love Veltri's.
So as you're like trying to develop a pizza, like, are you fine tuning it as like people's feedback comes in?
I knew that we had something with the Yoli Rollies that people didn't have in other places. And
where's that idea come from?
So I honestly don't remember. I obviously didn't invent. There were places you could get an open face pepperoni roll.
Yeah.
I'm not like dumb enough to like. I didn't invent the like Billy Miller said to me. You didn't invent the fucking pepperoni roll. I know that. I think Dom and I were messing around to where like most places just cook them down so it's more dough. And I actually think like we were just messing. And I took the dough cutter and I kind of, they look like cinnamon.
Yeah.
They look like cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
And that even evolved a little bit too from like the way we made them at first. But I just loved how it gets like crispy and like
all through it
on but then you still get that little bit of doughy like
the softness in the beginning.
Yeah, it's like the texture. I'm a huge texture guy, and they look beautiful and you can do different things with them. So I let Dom. I wasn't great at. I'm still not, but Angela makes fun of me. I don't like Anthony, but I'm not like a tosser. I'm more of like I take the layups. I'd say all the time. Dawn would do like a throw it up. I was like, your slam dunk and my layup are worth the same 2 points. I was like, so that's he's so like, so it's 2 points, man. Your dunk's 2 points, but I actually credit my cousin Dominic for he was, way more versed. I was more restaurant. He was more pizza.
Yeah.
And I would never have evolved into what we did originally as a pizza shop without Dom. Like I kind of rode his opinions and his he was a huge help. So with that, we still had all the stuff that other pizza shops weren't doing.
Yeah.
But we had to have the pizza. So like we had some sick specialty pizzas, like sick. Still, like to this day, like the fan favorite, like Aunt Donna's. Like we were using all fresh. Like I'm using like finishing with fresh basil, and like places weren't doing that. Like I know Anthony's and like some of these nicer spots do. The Rockaway does that. Like it wasn't happening with like fresh putting prosciutto on like after, like not doing it with. Did like a margarita pie without.
Yeah, like I don't remember Lucci's or Veltri's ever having.
I don't remember any of that
like
stuff.
That.
They had specialty pies, like the gyro pie at Lucci's was fire.
Yeah,
and everybody had a white pizza, and everybody had like a spin on things. But there weren't places doing like ingredient focused, like fresh, like quality.
They relied on technique, and they
correct. And
they finessed
I was like,
the technique. You wanted to do both.
Correct. And I was way more of a flavor guy, like trying different things. And people always appreciated, I think, the freshness, the creative side of it. And you talk about like things not bothering me. Like all of the feedback was like super positive, but like it took me a while to accept that people, not everyone's going to like it, you know?
Yeah.
So, but appreciating the people that do, like there are so many people that love it. I can't cater to the one guy that doesn't love it. Like if I change what I'm doing because that guy wants me to make a thinner pizza or wants me to,
if you got 9 people saying it's banging and one person's like, this is too doughy.
I have to appreciate the fact that those 9 people love what we're doing, and that guy is not wrong. Like your opinion's not wrong. But I can't cater to, no pun intended, to that guy.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't change your whole motion for that.
No. And it's like there are other, and it's wild to me that like pizza owners do it. It's one thing if like you got these like Dave Portnoy's of the world going around and he's rating as a customer, and that's fine. But it's wild to me when like pizza owners are like trashing other pizza. Not to say like nobody's done it to me. I'm just saying like I see some of these things, like we're all out here trying to eat, man. You know what I mean? Like we're all like just everybody's doing like I just said Kafara's before, not my style. Got me through a lot of nights at Super Rock.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people.
I'll still eat it if I'm up there.
Absolutely. We're all out here trying to do the same thing, man.
Well, so now the new venture, the reason that you're like coming back on here is like, you know, you turned the old pizza shop in Jefferson into a catering spot. Now tell me about this.
So the main goal is, at first it was just going to be like all the overflow of catering was going to be made out of there, but it transitioned into, it's a grab and go from Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 5, because I was lucky enough to, my cousin Dino was at Lampert's forever, and long time. And shout out Rick and Jan Lampert's is the GOAT. Dino had an opportunity to come with me. I'm so lucky to have him. But since I have him, I'm doing the more like he prepares food. He has prepared food, lunches, grabbing slices in the case. We have,
for people that don't know what Lampert's is, it's like there's grab and go in there, but it's also like a deli. You know, you can get like, you know, hot made food there.
Yep.
Like
so their bread and butter is, they started as the butcher shop, right?
Yeah.
But like you go in there now by the high school and it's like they evolved into like
all sorts of shit.
Correct. So on a smaller scale, we're just doing like, we do family meals every day to where like you could either take and bake or Dino will heat it up for you there. We're doing like chicken parm meals and the Balboa beef. And last week I had lobster mac and cheese and crab stuffed shells. And so it's just, again, kind of, it's not a separate entity. It's stuff that we're doing at the restaurant. Just that you can't make it up to the restaurant. Cool, shoot through, grab it, take it home,
grab a little family meal.
Yep. But the catering side of it was really taking off. And if you came into you've been in the restaurant, if I fit like 150 to 160 people in there. If I'm full on a Saturday and I have catering for I'm cooking for 300 other people and I'm trying to do all this, it's impossible in my kitchen to get it out. So or even some days where I'm not that busy in the restaurant, I have some guys saying, well, why is that taking so long? I'm cooking for 400 people here. I mean, so I'd have to cut the phones off. I can't take more orders. It just allows me to separate the two, still keep it under the same entity where you can call a restaurant, book a catering.
But you have an overflow now.
Correct. And I have a spot to do it. And if I could take the kitchen in the catering center and put it with the size of the restaurant, and combine them, it'd be beautiful. My kitchen's so tiny. It's just there at the restaurant, and I have all these people, and there's no dining at the old pizza shop.
So you have a bigger kitchen.
And kitchen's huge, and it's all it's funny, man, how it works. But we're only 10 minutes away too, so it's the
not too bad to run up and down.
Exactly. So I'll start my mornings off by going to the restaurant.
What was it like getting into the catering? I know you said back whenever you had the pizza shop originally, you started doing catering there. It's I know you said that you eventually wanted to be an Italian restaurant and not just focus on pizza. Catering is a whole different ball of wax. So how does that kind of come into play, and how did you adapt to learning how to do all that shit?
So I still don't know if it's a work in progress all the time. You think, I grew up with my grandma always over cooking and over always making too much.
Yeah.
So when we start catering, it's the same as starting with pizza. You just kind of learn by not doing it right, but realizing taking the good from it. So knowing people love the food, but me stepping back and looking we crushed it on the flavor, we crushed it on, they loved I got 3 pans extra everything. You know what I mean? I'm wasting that kind of work in progress of
another adapt.
You don't want to
pivot.
Show up and run out of food, but I'm I got 3 pans each of extra. What am I going to do with this? So that started with going to businesses and giving them and trying and getting the word out and again, always evolving and adapting and trying to realize too that you're not the smartest guy in the room. You know what I mean? That you have to be able to be honest with yourself, or I wouldn't have learned anything.
What do you prefer as far as your preferences as a chef? Do you because I just had Janet Loughran, who is Chef Life Hacks on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she is, she likes doing catering style, making meals, a bunch of that. You would rather that?
All day. So I love trying to say this in the most diplomatic way possible. The thing that has jaded me on the restaurant side is just all the other noise. The catering is just it's just cooking, man. It's just I felt so rejuvenated over the last month with my cousin Dino. It's just fun. It's we know what we need. We know what we need to order. We're goofing off. When you have those 50 tickets coming in and this guy
all
doesn't
different
want,
things.
And it's the servers are all crazy. And there's just, I'm so blessed with the staff that we have up there to where I can step away and do this with Dino. But when I'm in it, it's hard to not let it get under my skin. To where
you have all these plates spinning up in the air, whereas catering, you're I have to make 300 orders of chicken parm. So
correct, and I know that I can do that. So I kind of justify it by saying I'm taking care of 300 people at once, and I know I trust them up there, and I know that there's going to be. What's funny is I have people, and maybe people that listen to this will be oh, I can tell when you're there and when you're not there. What's funny to me is I'll be there and I'll come out. I didn't cook. Let's say just a pizza. I didn't make your pizza. I come out and the table sees me and they go, I could tell when you make my pizza. I'm thinking I didn't make it. I'm yeah, thanks. And I'm in my head I didn't make that. They see me there and they think that. And I have friends all the time tell me I can tell when you're here and when you're not there. You really can't. Maybe there are times, but it's more of a mental thing to them to where they see me.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm there and I'm in the office taking care of something, or if I'm I am so blessed with the guys that we have up there. I say guys, all my staff,
the people,
the girls up front, the guys in the kitchen. There, I am now like anybody else. I need some more depth, but we are the core that we have is unbelievable. But it's just always it makes me laugh when they're like, I can tell when you make it. And I'm, oh, thank you so much. It means a lot. I'm
well, that's like, good though, because
it's
you're like,
great to me. That's a perfect compliment.
It's validation because you're like, the staff got it on
lock. That's my point. Exactly. So when they're like, people see me at the catering thing and they'll be like, there are going to be nights where like things are going to happen and we're not on point all the time.
Yeah.
That used to drive me nuts and I'd lose like nights of sleep over it. Like, how do we make sure it doesn't happen all the time? And how do we like move on from that? But I genuinely trust every person that's in there that's working with us up there now to where I know it's going great. Because, and I'll have people, not that it doesn't get on my skin, like, they're, fell off the last time I was there. That stuff drives me crazy. Like I will do anything to like, hey, we had a bad night, give us another shot. Like once we don't get that other shot, we're done. So like, I'd rather send the gift card, put the tail between my legs. Like, what can we do to get you back, get another shot?
Yeah.
I feel like I just rambled there, but
you didn't ramble. Yeah. This whole thing is a big ramble.
I know, I love
it's a ramble about your life, and that's what
it.
These podcasts are. It's interesting because, you know, as you like try to, I don't know, like I feel like I thrive in a little bit of chaos. You know, Antoinette, my wife, is very, very different, where she is very like, you know, proactive, very organized, very just like getting shit, preparing it. If I have an event, you know, I'm to the last minute. Like I work better under the gun. I feel like it makes my creative juices start flowing. I get stagnant whenever I know I got like 3 months before an event. So It's like, I don't know. It's interesting to hear the way that you're saying, because I feel like, you know, we're similar in that way where you're like kind of thrive in the chaos a little bit and like you can make it work as it's going on. You know how to ride them waves. You're a good surfer. Antoinette's just, you know, boogie boarding. She's waiting until she sees the wave and she's like, I'm preparing. Now I'm going.
So there's pros and cons of both of those. Right?
Yeah.
So there's like, because when you over prepare and that's great. I wish I was more organized, but when it doesn't go like the way that you want it to go,
you wasted all that time putting all that shit in there.
I'm like, and I was just saying, like, Beth and I are opposites like that, to where like she just had a huge event for, she works for the children's home, Mary LMU Foundation now. Marriage is hard enough, let alone working together 8 hours a week. So, we don't work together anymore. She does the charcuteries and,
beautiful charcuterie that we have right here.
Yeah. But she just had their big event down. It was at the Rivers. It's her big fundraiser. She is so good at the planning and like under pressure, like the day of. Like I miss her on those catering days of like she would keep me, because I'm the chaos. It comes outward to like, I think I make people nervous by like how like the speed I'm moving at, and like I don't have time to sugarcoat the tone. So sometimes the tone comes out like a and it's not personal. It's just I don't have time. They called her my buffer because she was always like she would always like take the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Like
she was like a filter.
She would.
Filter through all of it.
She would filter the message and like it would come off in a much. So she was our HR. We don't have an HR, but if we did, Beth was HR. But I think I make people nervous. Like I flourish in that chaos, but around like I don't know what it looks like on the outside.
And you have to remember that like other people around you, like maybe they don't flourish the same way in this same environment. So I don't know. And I feel like that it makes Antoinette nervous. Like if I have, like whenever I had that benefit bingo event, you know, I knew that shit was going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know, I had it all handled.
Yeah.
But she's like, it's causing us fights. She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like get your shit scheduled out. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I just know that it's going to be all right. We're good.
Now with that said, like there's always a point, right, to where like you take on too much, and it's like,
and I have a panic attack.
Because it's like my 12-year-old's, I guess right now, it makes me nervous. She's a lot like me, to where like everything's gonna be cool till it ain't. Like I got through like I got great grades in high school without doing it. That's what we were talking about, Slippery Rock. You can't procrastinate anymore when it's like I used to be able to wake up morning of, finish a paper, and like when you put too much on your plate,
you have to do it ahead of time.
You have to plan it out. Like so now with that said, I always say like I've done so many great things up here, like crazy, manic, some people might say. I don't perform even keel like this. Like I got to minimize like the ebbs and flows of it, but like I'm not the type of guy that accomplishes anything when I'm like even keel, like just going with the. I'm like, I need the chaos.
Yeah, I'm on or I'm off.
Yeah,
that's what it is. What I mean, like, how do you keep your mental? That's all right. Like, how do you do with that?
I don't. I guess.
It's like, but for real though, like,
honestly, I've had spurts of like, again, not to turn this into like a therapy, but it's not. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's so hard, and I'm so personable to where like people expect me. It's one thing, like I say, I have friends that are like pretty like laid back and chill, and if they don't talk to you out at an event, it's nothing because that's just their personality.
Yeah.
If I see you out and I'm not like, what's wrong with Benny?
Yeah.
I can't be that level all the time. So it's hard to when you give an expectation to people of like how like your outgoing personality and like how you're the same way. We're like I'm not like that all the time. And when I'm not like that, and it's hard in this business to like days you can't fake it. And that's why it's been great with just Dino over the last like month or so, like kind of remember what I'm doing this for. Like I love to make people happy. I love to cook for them. I love to create new things and
host people.
I love that. It's honestly like kind of like rejuvenated me. I can't be on all the time. And when you talk about it's really important to unapologetically shut off for like a day or two and like not feel bad about it.
Well,
like,
the reason you do it is like the reason I asked that is like I'm only doing this. This is just me with this podcast, so I could have a fucked up day and I can just skip it and it's cool. But like you're running an entire army of people, you're running 2 different businesses with other people. So if you're not performing at your at your best, and you're like you're a weak link in the chain, and like you're bogging probably other people down. So it's interesting to like talk about how you keep your mental health where it needs to be, because if you're having a bad fucking week, it's just gonna like reflect.
And that
on
goes
the
to what we were just talking about. I am so lucky. When you say how do you keep your mental, and I didn't do this before. I tried, and I've actually been pretty good over the last few years of avoiding like the downs with the ups. You know what I mean? Like the ups are great. And how you just said, it's kind of dawned on me. How I do it is I trust the people I have there. I couldn't do it without them. So like, I'm very grateful. I have some days where like, you can't shut your phone off. Like like sometimes it's face down here. When we're done, I might have 47 missed texts.
Yeah. You were getting calls crazy while this was happening.
Yeah. So hopefully it's nothing crazy.
Is it always every day? It's like
it is every day. And it's, but I'm at the point where I'm so lucky that there are days where I can,
go out with your
take
kids,
the kids out
and just like not have to be attached to your phone at every second.
So I'm very lucky to where there are certain things Enzo started playing baseball, and I thought he wanted me to coach, and I said, I'll help coach if you want me to help, but I could never be the head coach because I can't, like the schedule's very flexible.
It's crazy,
but it's not, it's inconsistent. So like it's, somebody doesn't show up to cook. I can't he doesn't know. Like
I get it, but it's interesting to hear you talk about these things, because these are things that like, everyone comes to Yoli's and it's like, you pop out of the kitchen. Hey, it's Ben. Yeah. Everything's great. But like the reason we have, the reason I have this podcast is to amplify what people are thinking about in their mind and give kind of people like a peek on like the chaos that this is all happening. Like this is really what goes through your head in a daily basis. This is what you got to deal with in a daily basis. Like, and I feel like that, it's interesting to think about, as just a regular consumer of, all these different businesses and brands in Pittsburgh, it's so easy for us to just like walk into a business and just like, go have a meal or go buy something like that. But it's, the things that are going on to keep that business, moving the way it is what's interesting to me. Yeah. Because everyone is just like regular people and everyone's dealing with fucked up stuff. And like,
it's life, man. We're still humans, and we're still, especially with the kids growing up. And I say all the time, like the cooking stuff, I could probably do with my eyes closed. It's all the extracurricular, like everybody else is going through their own stuff. And it's, I like to think you'd have to ask the staff and they would, but from my perspective, I try to like I think I'm a pretty good, give them the days they need.
Yeah.
Doors always open. You need to talk about anything.
Reasonable person.
Absolutely. To where like, hey, we're not like, this isn't brain surgery. This isn't life or death. I love having you on the team, but like, take care of yourself. Oh, you got something wrong. Go, your grandma's sick. Like, go be with the family. Like, we're going to be okay. And there's been days where like and I'm very lucky. Other guys, they pick up the slack, but it's like, we're all, you have to be cognizant of the fact that there's other stuff going on besides like your little restaurant there of like what's
bigger picture shit happening.
Absolutely, where we're all and it's I think it took a while. Everybody thinks when you're the personality that I am that like I'm this way all the time. I'm not, man. I'm like, there's days I'm sad. Some days I'm like, I'm tired. I'm like, that was the sickest.
I'm tired.
That was the sickest Pittsburgh. I'm tired.
What's like a typical day? Like when do you wake up in the morning?
So Enzo, I take the kids go now. Bailey goes to Kappa downtown. She got in for vocal.
Okay.
And Beth works in it's like Lawrenceville, Garfield area. So she takes Bailey every morning to downtown, and I take Enzo every morning to, he goes to Mifflin. It's Pittsburgh, like Lincoln Place.
Okay.
So every morning, let's say 6:30, out of bed, 7, leave the house 7:45, and then it's running. Now that like baseball and stuff starting, Bailey's like in choir, and we get the 2 places. Most days are like leave at 7, sometimes get home at 10. 11. I mean they're marathon days.
Well, I mean, when do you get to the restaurant?
8:15. So since we opened the catering shop, I get up there. I try and get. Once I'm pulled and people start getting, so my cooks don't start there till 9. I try and get in there at 8:15 to get the stuff I need to get done.
Yeah.
And then I get down with Dino about 9. But
are you spending most of your time at the catering?
The last month until he gets, I know he's going to be great, but until he is great already, and it's honestly kind of selfishly, it's been like
figure it all out.
I feel like I said rejuvenating like 10 times, but it's been fun down there, man. It's because all the people too that are so. They're like, I can't tell you how many people come in and are like, so we're so glad you're back, even though it's not like
the exact same
thing. And that's what when I talked about before that I don't want to like harp on the people that you can't please everybody, can't cater to everybody. Had one lady or a couple people. Oh, what? You're only open until 5 with the grab and go. I don't get out of work until. So can you? I'm like, we weren't here at all. You know what I mean? Like I've been. Do you want us here or not? Like, and you don't say that. I'm just like, but appreciate the feedback. This is what works because I don't want to start pulling and alienating the staff from like that's Dino's schedule and that's I don't want to burn him out either. Like this is we're gonna ramp up the catering. Like this is what we can offer for grab and go now. And if it evolves, it evolves. But every day, it's funny what you just said. I'm not a routine guy, and I flourish in like that chaos. Every day is different. Like every day is like maybe I'm at the restaurant for keeps everybody. I don't know if they like it or not, but it keeps me on my toes to where like I'm not a routine guy, man. I'm like kind of just bounce, go with the flow.
I mean, sometimes you just have to be like that. Well, I mean, what are your goals? I know that this just opened and I know that's a loaded question, but like, what are your goals right now?
Yeah. So, you asked me this, what was that 3 years ago? And I think a lot of them are coming into fruition of like, just being a place that, continuing to be a place that, people are happy to be in. A place that I'm proud of to name after my grandmother, a place that like my goals are to continue to have my mom and my family proud of me. Continue to have a place where the community could look to us and know that we'll be there for them. Like you want to sponsor a team, you need like your grandma died, you need somewhere to have a wake, like to be consistent. But in that consistency to just grow,
to be a resource for people.
Honestly, you could go eat anywhere, right? Like I want like some of, not just the like the sad times, but like I want people to know we're there for them. Like weddings, wakes, like grad parties that we're ramping up now. Like I want to be a part of all of these. Like it's not just we say we feed you like family. Like it is so important to me that people know. It's cheesy when people say like, oh, it's secret ingredient is love. Like I love this brand so much. Like it really is my life. Like besides my kids, it's like I breathe it. I love it. It means so much to me. And I think my goal is to not lose that passion of like, I don't want it to turn into a job. My goal is to like continually be as obsessed with it as I am today, as I was 3 years ago, as I was 8 years ago. I don't want it to, my goal is for it to, I guess, not become a job. Is that?
I mean, it couldn't be a more perfect answer.
Yeah.
It couldn't be a more perfect answer. That's really what it is. All right. So, I think we milled through the meat and the potatoes of the restaurant industry. You want to get to the desert island question?
Yeah, let's go.
Right.
And honestly, I didn't on purpose. I didn't I didn't want to come in here prepared for it. So like I didn't.
I love that.
Last time I was like kind of nervous about it, and like this, I was like, no. Yeah.
One of the critiques I had is someone was like, you're spending too much time on the desert island questions. Quit giving people all this time. Just let them just rattle it off. And I was like, I like that. I like the idea. It's just like, you don't have to put too much thought into it. That's why I don't tell people about it in the beginning.
So I actually forgot we were going to do this. So this is going to be like.
This is perfect. This is real. All right. In real time. The ending segment that I do with everyone is an ending segment called Desert Island Questions.
This is a banger.
It's a good one, right? All right, Desert Island Questions. Whenever I give each guest 3 categories, take with them on a desert island until they use it, until they starve to death and die. First category, 3 movies.
All right, so just rapid fire. I'm going Major League, Goodfellas, and Kingpin.
That's a good choice. Major League?
Yeah.
That's a slept-on one. I don't know if that's ever been chosen on here.
Major League is like, so Major League, all 3 of those I could like watch on mute and quote, like,
so good.
Yeah. And I always say my line at the restaurant is like when people are like, hey, you save us a table. I'm like, I'll bring you in through the kitchen like Goodfellas. I'll set you up.
Do you kind of have like do you get like a Tony feel like walking in there? Got to.
What, like Sopranos?
Yeah, like you're walking in and you're like you're the fucking capo of the restaurant.
I feel like
people know you.
Some days people look at me more like Vito, like I'm the. They're looking at me like it's a what's this guy doing? No, I was just kidding. It's so funny. My boy, shout out Corey Hahn. I thought was super duper Italian, so he's always like sending me memes like Sopranos, and he's like making sauce on Sundays, saying he's like in Goodfellas, he's like his little brother, like don't burn the sauce. And I'm like, then I meet his brother a couple months ago, and I never met him, and he's like, yeah, but we're Irish. I was like, what do you mean you're Irish? I knew his last name was Irish. So I thought maybe his mom. He was like, we're not Italian at all. I was like, Corey's not like. He'll like send me all the time. Like he is my we talk about like. Actually, the first time you just started watching Sopranos, I think, right after I was in here, right? You didn't see it when I was in here before.
I didn't see it.
It's my life is like Sopranos memes. I actually should probably say I do sometimes on Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, it's stereotypical, but it's like you're owner of a restaurant. It's like you walk through, people know you are. How you doing?
I'm more Artie Bucco than Tony Soprano. So. You said you get a Tony feel? Like, no. I got Beth and I like fighting when she worked there. She's Charmaine and I'm Artie.
That's the best.
Yeah, I'm more Artie Bucco than.
That's good though.
Yeah,
that's good. Okay, second category. Instead of 3 books that I'm going to do, I want to know 3 of your other pizza places that you enjoy going.
Great. That's great. Anthony's spot for sure. Badamas. Am I saying it right? Did I get it? I got it right.
Badamas.
Badamas. I grew up Veltry's, and now I know I haven't been too much, but shout out Andy Macy at Patty's, because we're going to start getting Patty's. are going to do tiramisu. I think I'm going to lemon cake.
Okay.
I'm going to start doing the whole. That's when I just saw your brother leaving the bakery. He was like, yeah, and your brother always busting balls. He was like, what are you going to do? You're going to buy it for $2 and sell it for $8. I was like, not on that scale, but yes, that's how it works. It's called wholesale. I'm going to buy it for cheaper than you would, and I'm going to sell it.
Honestly, I could have picked that from a list of questions. That's what he would have said.
Yeah. And honestly, it was so on point because that's literally what we were talking about. Like, I don't, hey, I have to you can't mark it up too much, but like, we can't take a loss on it. We can't and your brother is like always busting balls.
Always. That's a business.
Yeah. So this is really hard because I don't want to
well, let me ask you this. Is there any pizza places that you've seen of that you would want to try?
So that's actually a better question. No, I'll go from what I've had to Badama's is fire. I really like Ironborn.
Yeah.
I think just that
Real
style,
good.
It's tremendous. And one I want to try that I haven't had yet is what is that in Lawrenceville? Is it
Lupo?
Lupo. It looks unbelievable.
Looks unbelievable.
Yeah, haven't
People
had it
always
yet.
slide in because I'm always blowing up. I'm always blowing up Badama's spot whenever I'm down on the north side. And people are like, "You got to stop at Lupo because it does. It looks fire. I got to try it.
It looks unbelievable. Yeah, so I'd say the two. I'll actually give you better yet. One I love. One that's not there anymore that I grew up on. So it's Badama's. Veltry's is my nostalgic one, and one I want to try is Lupo.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Third category, 3 CDs.
I don't remember. It's funny. I don't remember what I answered last time. I think Weezer might have been in there, and it's music's so funny because it's all it changes with moods.
Yeah, it does. It changes with moods.
Yeah. So
I think I remember yours. I think you said the Killers.
So I think I went Sam's Town over Hot Fuss though, but it was definitely Killers. And
I think you said Killers. I thought you said Bone, and I thought you said Prince. Maybe I could be wrong though.
I don't. So I meant to ask this last time. Did greatest hits compilations count?
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Because when not that I'm picking, I think I was just curious of because that's how you're introduced as a kid to stuff that's out of your. You know what I mean?
Greatest hits. Michael Jackson's greatest hits.
Yeah. So, just album wise, what I listen, I'm gonna go. The Killers, Sawdust. It's all compilations and B-sides, and it's but it's what I find myself listening to.
What do you think about them headlining?
I love it. I'm going. Are you gonna go? I don't know where they're having it. By the way, I live over at driving through Second Avenue.
I've been reading some things on Reddit that people were saying it's just I don't really know the exact location of it.
I see where they're digging, and I'm like, this is in September.
Is it not built yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to.
It doesn't look like it.
Because I was looking it up. I'm like, is this just not built yet?
Yeah, so we're going. I never saw. I saw Wiz when he first. And I know we're off topic of what the CDs are, but Wiz is headlining second day. And I actually saw the Killers, Wiz, and Matt and Kim together at this Labatt Blue, stage AE. I got a ticket from a vendor 15 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest. It's actually kind of like a microcosm of this big, all these different acts at this festival. But I never saw Wiz in a big headlining, he was a little live band. And
I've seen him a bunch. He's always good.
That's what I think he would be. So, Beth, I'm actually the second day. Watch Juvenile's Tiny Desk.
It was fantastic.
It's unbelievable. And he's there second day.
I saw that.
Literally, I think the only act I want to see first day is
Killers
or the Killers. But second day looks so. I thought I was trying to be responsible. We're taking the kids. We're going to Toronto in November to see Taylor Swift. Bailey's a huge Swiftie.
My
and we got
goodness.
So and they actually weren't that expensive because we got original Ticketmaster tickets this time. We didn't have to the resale is what people were getting.
How'd you get a Ticketmaster ticket?
We got a pre-sale code. I was in the Miami one. Beth was in the queue for the Toronto.
What's the weight of being a father of a 12-year-old girl who that would change her life?
So she was super. I knew how important it was, but when the Taylor Swift concert this summer in Pittsburgh, we didn't get tickets, and I thought
both tried
everything, every raffle that you could find, because Bailey really kind of grew you remember being a kid, like it's her first like obsession.
Yeah. Artists that you love.
And I look all the time, people like I have friends, I actually have a hat that says Swiftie Dad. I hated Taylor Swift, but what I love is the bond that Bailey and I have now. Like as a father, I could look at Taylor Swift and say, how proud I would be, like if my daughter, like she writes all her own songs, she's a crazy entrepreneur, she's true to herself. Is she annoying, like as far as like the breakup stuff goes, or like is it like the music that I would have picked out for myself?
It's really just her devout followers are kind of the annoying part of it all.
Exactly, which is why like I don't like Dave Matthews Band, not for Dave Matthews Band. I hate the people that follow Dave Matthews Band. You know what I'm saying? Or Fish, like
100%.
Like people that like
get it.
So I get it, like my friends that like. But as a father, I look at my 12-year-old daughter, there are way worse things that she could be obsessed with. Like she could be asking me what WAP means at 12. You know what I mean? Like wings and pizza on Wednesdays. Like, I don't know what you're,
that's a good way to look at it.
So it has been, we're going to Toronto. We got, and Enzo, anything that Bailey does, like Enzo just has to tell, he's just, so we're going, we got 4 reasonable tickets. I forget, it's like right before Thanksgiving in November.
It's right at the theater up there, or the arena up there in Toronto.
It's where the Blue Jays play, the Rogers Center.
Yeah. They're filming they did film the new M. Night Shyamalan movie there.
Really?
Yeah. Did you see previews for that?
No.
Looks wild. Josh Hartnett is like a serial killer in a concert. And
I haven't
there's
seen Josh Hartnett in anything since 40 Days in Fort. Remember that movie? Like
Shannon Sauceman?
100%.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic
we actually tried
movie.
to do that bet when that movie came out. It lasted like a weekend.
Honestly, Josh Hartnett slept on. The Faculty, Pearl Harbor, 30 Days a Night.
Who knew? You're a Josh Hartnett fanboy.
Oppenheimer, he was just in, had his resurgence.
Didn't see it.
You could have slept through it. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
You knew what happened.
Yeah. Dude, same. I've never seen Titanic. I'm like, I know what happens.
You're slipping on that.
I know what happens.
I know, but it's a good movie. It's debatable.
You would think through all his banner, I was thinking of like 3 more CDs to pick. I wasn't.
That's all right.
So
that's what I was just going to circle back to.
Yeah, we'll circle back, but I got to go. I'm going to change up. I was always a Biggie kid when I was younger. I'm going to get, but Tupac, All Eyes on Me, probably the best double album.
We actually had this conversation last time because I think that you said the same thing. You said Biggie whenever you were a kid, but I feel like McKee Sport is Tupac over Biggie, 100%.
Yeah, I was always the the outcast with that.
Yeah. Because my brother, all them, they always had Tupac, but I've always preferred Biggie. And then you guys are the only ones I feel that listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Love Bone Thugs. Well, it was Leach's Basement. Like I feel like you had to. Did I take Bone Thugs last time?
I don't know if
I think I did DMX maybe.
That might have been it too.
Yeah. No, so one rap, one. I got the Killers. I got the. Then I got Tupac, and then I'm gonna go. Going Bob Seger's Greatest Hits.
That's good.
Honestly, that's a
that's good.
Like
why not?
I find myself like as a dad, like an old
wearing some stonewashed jeans and some Nike Monarchs, just standing outside and looking at the grass.
I haven't transitioned into the Monarchs yet or the jorts, but like my sneezes are way louder. My dad jokes are like ridiculous. And I told Enzo I'd do a dad joke for you. So his favorite one is how much does a roof cost?
I don't know.
Nothing. It's on the house. And then I go, and then you follow it up and you go, I'm sorry, my dad was a roofer. He wasn't the best, but he was up there. Enzo's going to lose his mind.
That's a good one. How do you make holy water out of regular water? Boil the hell out of it.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a good one. Okay, so third to last question, you get the death row meal, appetizer, main course, and a dessert.
Hungry too.
I'm starving.
Appetizer, I'm going I think I'm going I'll make a side my appetizer. I'm going lobster mac and cheese from Capitol Grill.
Okay.
Then what?
Appetizer, main course, and a dessert.
Main course, I'm going I'm just going Lampert's thick cut Delmonico on the grill.
Okay.
But I know it's a side, but I need asparagus on the grill, and I need just a little bit of sea salt and butter. Like
there you go.
Irish.
How do you like your steak?
I'm a medium rare guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
An aristocrat.
Yeah. What do you do?
I like a medium. If I knew that it was going to be cooked to medium, I like that. But when you usually order medium, it usually comes medium rare.
See, I think the opposite. Like I can eat it down. I can't eat it up. So like, that's why I don't like ordering medium. Cause if they miss, to me, I feel like they miss up. And if I get a medium, well, I'm not like, that's too much for me. You know
I
what
usually
I'm saying?
don't even ever order steak. I'm having like a resurgence in my 34th year of life.
Yeah.
Whenever I would go to Roadhouse, it would always be barbecue chicken and ribs all day. But I've been getting steaks, 8-ounce sirloin. It's good. Dessert.
Look, my grandma's peanut butter brownies.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, they were unbelievable.
Peanut butter. It's another resurgence I had in my life. I hated peanut butter. Everything. I love it now.
Yeah, I feel like I dropped the ball on this one. There's so many more. Steak and lobster mac are so.
That's what everyone picks.
I know, and it's not like it was just like. So this Bailey and I have been doing this thing. It's like 24 new restaurants in 2024.
Yeah,
and it's like every
what number
other,
are you on?
We just finished 8. We just went to Kaya in the Strip, and it was tremendous. But that's when I saw you at Ralph's birthday party. We went to Dagny's since then. Dagny's was tremendous. Even I can't believe she does all that by herself.
Crazy.
But I feel like I just dropped the ball because I haven't ordered a steak yet in like the 8 things the 8 places that we've gone to, and I've had but. That's like the truth about like dropping the ball, like under pressure. Like
you don't want to think about it too much.
The whole goal was Bailey, as a 12-year-old, thought she wanted to be a vegetarian in like this summer, a couple weeks, and I said, super cool. I'd be supportive, but you're too young and haven't had tried enough things to make that determination.
I like that.
We're gonna like what we've been doing is she's in this process of like she's Nikki's Thai Kitchen had crab rangoon. She had a great burger at Butter Joint. We went to that new Novo, like in the terminal in the Strip. It's like the Asian food court. She's eating sushi now.
Wow.
She's trying, just trying things like you don't know what you like until you like it.
Do either of the kids like want to cook?
So Enzo wants to run the place. Bailey doesn't think she wants to work with me at all until Enzo just walks in like he's a G. He made during Lent he was making crab rangoon for our Goonie pizza.
That's the best.
And he's just like Enzo's just like he's the ultimate showman, man. He's like, so I said before he started playing baseball, hasn't clicked yet. Like, and maybe it doesn't, but like he loves going still. And like, but he's 6. So like, I just asked my mom the other day, I was like, I made all-stars and like I played in high school, but I was like, hey, was I not good? She was like, I don't really remember. Cause I just remember like
going there, showing up.
And, it hasn't clicked for him yet. And like some of these kids, like he's 6 in an 8U league. So like a lot of these kids,
he's
are
looking
like
at flowers in the ground.
Dude, he's like, literally there's like a food truck there and he's like running off the field. Like I say, like, give me a pretzel. Like, so just the other day they had a scrimmage and I was like, no one tell him like, I'm hoping he wasn't paying attention. This kid gets hurt. Everybody gets down on one knee and then they find out the kid's okay and he gets a standing ovation. I was like, do not tell Enzo that you get a standing ovation for getting hurt. He's going to drop once an inning if he knows that like everyone's going to clap.
He just
like,
loves it.
Dude, he's like, but he's such a sweet kid. Like, he is. I mean, and honestly,
both
you
of
guys,
your kids are great.
They are both like have that, and I'm like personable too. Sweet. Beth's like,
you're all just great people.
But you guys, and I'm going to say this on air, so it's recorded or on, not on air. You know what I mean? You guys are always super to my kids when they love. See, you always think of them. It means a lot. To me, it means a lot to them. So
for sure. I mean, like I remember growing up as a kid. I remember going right next to Simonetta's Auto Body. Yeah. Right next to the skating bar right there. Well, there was a car dealership right there, and I remember my dad was sitting in there with me, and I remember sitting in there being bored as fuck. This is honestly why I even like have the forethought to think of this. Yeah. This dude that I was sitting there knew I was miserable. I had to be maybe like 6, 7. Pulls out a dollar store toy, changed my whole
and that's Enzo, honestly,
whole day.
But don't sell yourself short. You're giving them like the sickest toys. Like they're like nice. Like it's not like I'm going to tell you this.
I'm a gift giver. I just enjoy giving people gifts.
You can give him he loves the dollar store stuff too. It's just the thought of like
the thought of it. Yeah. Something extra. That's all it is. I like the idea of you going and like having her try different stuff like that.
It's so much fun.
It's interesting to think of that. Like you said, like, your daughters thinking like maybe she wanted to be a vegetarian, but like I like the way that you think about things. Like I like that thought of like I would like you to try more things and then make a decision.
Yeah.
But it's wild to even think about that as like a parent. I'm not a parent, so it's like these are things that are
what I
going
keep
on
trying
in
to
your
tell
mind.
her is like her palate is so much more refined than I was at 12.
Yeah.
To where like, cause now like the things she hasn't given in, she doesn't like spicy, which is
Think of what our kids or think of what our parents were having. Like,
oh my God.
If your parents were anything like mine, it was like they were creatures of habits. We had fucking shake and bake, a roast with some fucking brown potatoes.
And my mom was like really good at the things she made, but
It was
the
good,
same stuff
but they
all the
weren't
time.
like going out like, oh, let's have this like
But
weird
I feel
ass.
like restaurants weren't doing that.
They
either.
weren't.
Like,
They
I don't
weren't.
know,
They weren't.
Like you couldn't get and there are so many. And I'm gonna. You're going to give me some suggestions. I know Dagny's was one. Oak Hill Post is on ours. We actually, Beth and I had time this morning. We ate breakfast at, why can't I think of it's the main one in the strip, the diner.
Pamela's?
DeLuca's.
Or DeLuca's.
Yeah, DeLuca's. Oh, Pamela's.
Yeah, I mean,
too,
it's
but,
old. It's,
correct. And it's like, so that's one of the things with Bailey too. I want to take her to some of the like,
the staples.
yeah, like Big Jim's in the Run. I don't know if you ever went to, or like, but I'll take her to DeLuca's. It can't all be like the fancy, like.
Yeah, you got to go with like the, like Jim's Hot Dogs over in like West Mifflin area.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's fun, man. And it's not just her trying new foods. It's like her seeing how to treat a server, seeing like how we tip, seeing how we like have patience when things are going on, like our food didn't come out. Like how to act in a restaurant, how to be. And if she ever decides to date, these little
how she should be treated.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're not going to get away with taking her to Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? Like.
All right. So, second to last question. You're getting ready to go on a road trip. You go into a gas station and get a snack. What is it?
I'm very well versed in this because Enzo could spend $100 in Kogos.
Nowadays, you could easy,
but without getting gas too. Like he's real thoughtful, and he'll like Bailey likes this muddy Chex Mix, and I like he's a Prime kid. Like, do you ever drink the Prime?
Fuck no,
dude. It's like I don't get it. It's like.
It's just it's a marketing thing.
We got Prime, boys. That's what he says all the time. He'll show up to baseball. We got Prime, boys.
Where does he even learn about that?
Dude, he's a YouTube kid, and I got to watch some of it. I'll be in the other room like, what'd they say?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's just a commercial. I was like, yeah, but it's a commercial for Five Nights at Freddy's. You're 6. Like,
that's wild stuff.
So I'm very well versed with the candy.
Snacks.
Yeah. So I'm a cheddar and sour cream Ruffles, hands down.
All day.
All day. That's my, when I have them at home, I actually like to do, I just asked Beth this, like, what's your like guilty pleasure in a grocery store, like that you have to have all the time? It's like not like a produce staple or like
Dots pretzels.
Yeah.
I usually buy Dots pretzels. I buy like, I've been trying to get better because like
Same.
as an older person, like getting older, it's just like, dude, the only thing that I've ever, people talk about like having problems with like alcohol and shit like that. I definitely have like a food thing. Like I'm a compulsive eater. I could eat forever.
Yeah.
Antoinette could just have like, she's one of them people that's like, oh, let me get a little bag of Dove chocolate. I'll have one little heart of Dove chocolate.
So Beth's
Rip
been
a whole handful
keto
of them
for like 3 years. So like she'll like, dude, I'm selling
Bless
pizza
her
and
heart.
pastas.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Like I just asked her today, like, what do you mention? She's like, I miss your pizza a lot. She's like, but she'll still eat like our wings are slept on. Like she eats our wings a lot, or meatballs, stuffed banana peppers. But like I couldn't talk about like the guilty pleasure. She literally eats the Ready Whip out of the can.
Oh, I'll rip it all day.
That's all she, and not for like the like the whip. It's like actually.
I know, but it's just like
that's hers because I asked her. That's Ready Whip is hers.
The guilty pleasure thing. Yeah.
I'm a chip and dip guy, like hell of a good French onion. Like,
I ain't putting it back. It's
dude,
the whole thing's down.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and I look at that size. I was like, am I a scumbag? I just ate that whole thing in a sitting.
I start to like be more conscious of like sugar because you remember like being in like middle school, I could drink like a rack of pop.
Yeah.
Just
so
like,
I tried. That's the thing. Like, you got the Diet Coke there. I was drinking the Gatorade Zero. I eat so much that I try not to waste it on like liquid calories. Like if we go out, like beers, obviously, like, but if like, I know it's terrible I'll drink a sugar-free Red Bull and like my staff's like,
it's poison.
Dude,
it's fucking poison.
Yeah.
I used to be.
I can't do coffee. You're a coffee guy?
I enjoy coffee, but it's like I'm just trying to make like more conscious decisions. Like I'm trying to not drink I'm not trying to drink any energy drinks really. I haven't been drinking a coffee with a whole shot and a half of espresso every single day.
Yeah.
I just try to make dude, it made me sick. I was putting creamer in my coffee and I'm looking at it and it's like 6 grams per tablespoon. And then I was like, so I start measuring out the tablespoons and like a couple tablespoons is just a little tilt. That's like 18 grams of sugar. I might as well eat a fucking Snickers now.
So crazy transition game. Snickers in the so it's sugar,
professional.
Sugar-free Red Bull. I didn't say that's my drink. I'm going sugar-free Red Bull. I'm going
cheddar sour cream chips.
Cheddar and sour cream Ruffles.
Wash it down with a Snickers.
Snickers and peach rings if you let me.
Yeah, the peach rings, the 2. Remember when they were 2 for $1?
It's
probably like $6 now. It's crazy.
Everything on here is insane.
You can't look out the window out spending $100. It's what's crazy is like, we talk about all this restaurant stuff and you being in everything and like to throw kids on top of everything and like keep both places going like you're doing, keep the quality up to what it is and just keep ripping. It's incredible, dude.
Appreciate that. You too, man. This is honestly, I was looking at since the last time I was here, a lot of milestones, man. We went to the went to the 200. You got the
200 party.
Was Edgar Snyder before or after me?
Edgar Snyder was after. Edgar Snyder was like
Sally Wiggins. So before I came, who's the biggest? Mikey and Big Bob.
Probably Mikey and Big Bob. Yeah, probably Mikey and Big Bob.
Rick Seaback,
yeah.
Was he before?
That was before too. I had him sweating to death in my old apartment.
Yeah.
That's whenever he was a big boy still. But we had some milestones. It's been a while since I had like a figure in the city, but we're getting there.
Honestly, man, you keep grinding. It's
I like, dude, everyone knows like that, it's cool to have like the Edgar Snyders, but it's like, I enjoy having the Dagneys. I enjoy having the Bennies.
Yeah.
I enjoy learning about this because like, whenever I look at like Sally Wiggin, whenever I look at like Edgar Snyder, I'm like, these are like the untouchables. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like these people like came up at a different time, but you are my peer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
honestly,
I look at you and I see like, me, I see like Dagny, Dagny had the same life is my wife working at a bank and she just said, fuck it, change her life. It's like, I get like teary eyed whenever I listen to these conversations with people. I don't know, dude. I appreciate people's hustle and like you're a hustler and it comes off as that. Last question.
Hold on real quick. Did I tell you, I think I sent you, but I haven't been on since. We're in Home Depot one Sunday and it's dude, I got the Yoli chef coat on and the dude comes up and he was like,
oh yeah,
you Benny from Yoli. I sent you a picture of that, and he was like, "You Benny from Yoli?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You been in a restaurant?" He's like, "Yeah, but I heard you and I'll call you right back. I listen to that all the time." I was like, "Yeah, my man, Chad." Yeah. So honestly, and I texted to you and I said, "Hey, people are listening. Keep grinding."
Yeah, it's like you said. It's like whenever you're in it, you don't really pay attention. But it's. I don't know. People are definitely listening.
Absolutely.
2 people hit me yesterday about Dagny. We're like, dude, just went to Dagny's.
It's fire.
It's banging.
Yeah.
And it's cool that people are listening because people are interested in your life. And that's why we do this. Last question. You could talk to anyone in the world, alive or dead. Who would it be and why?
I know a lot of people probably say this, and I didn't last time. I forget who I brought up, but maybe it was. I would love for my grandma to be in the restaurant
and see what it's about.
I know I feel her there, not to be like weird about it, but like I know she's there with us a lot.
Oh yeah.
But like I would love for her to just
to see what it is.
Like Walmart greeter one day, like standing at the door. She was so funny. Just one time to see like we got shirts. And when I finally do get your hoodie to you, I promise.
That's all right.
But it says Grandma Yoli would have loved you. Because she was, my
that's
grandma was
the
best. So I don't remember what I said last time, but I know I thought about it, and I miss her every day. I feel her there every day. And my new Dino's so sick of me saying it because it's the same. He hears it 400 times a day, and like customer hears it the first time. And I was like, "This is my cousin Dino. He's Yoli's oldest grandson. I was her favorite." And he jokes, and she's not here to confirm or deny that.
That's your running joke.
I was the favorite.
All right. I'm going to let you get out of here. Take a second. Tell everyone where they could get all your stuff, your addresses, Instagram, all that.
So come eat, full service, sit down restaurant, full bar, party room, book your next party. We are at 1101 State Route 885. I'm right down from Jefferson Hospital, CCAC South. That's in Jefferson Hills, PA. Phone number 412-405-8561. Catch us on Instagram at Yoli's Cucina, Cucina. Same Yoli's Cucina and Craft House on Facebook. We're on Twitter, X, whatever it's called. I don't tweet too much. I'm mostly on Instagram's probably my favorite. The stories, I keep it. And then at Yoli's Catering on Instagram. We're at 440 Cochrane Mill Road, Pittsburgh, PA 15236. I'm right on the border of, like, don't go up to South Park. I'm right down kind of by Broughton Road, end of Curry Hollow Road. Technically it's Jefferson. But all your catering needs, man. We're doing wakes, we're doing showers, we're doing weddings, anything you need. Or you just, you want a family meal for yourself. We ain't judging.
Hey, man, anything you need. We're doing wakes.
Yeah. Oh, I'll say this, and I don't mean it like in a morbid way. Like, wakes are my favorite because
you add a little lightness to it.
Like, I like knowing that we can take one thing, no pun intended, off of your plate. Like, you don't want to have to worry about the food. It should be a time that you're like, you're mourning, you're like remembering that person. We try and keep it as easy as possible. We try and wakes are probably the thing that we do the most. Because our staff too, I got some of the best servers in the world. You get to. I'm very lucky with a lot of them. So they're. If somebody just died, come on out.
If you got a death in the family, hit up Yoli's Cucina on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right, everyone else that's listening, appreciate you as usual. Each and every week, we're back with another great guest doing great things and providing food for all the people in wakes in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Call you right back.